Did you know that when you touch the Rosary, something much deeper happens than you might imagine? Padre Pio, with his wisdom and mystical experience, gave a warning that few truly understand. He knew that the Rosary, this simple prayer, had the power to attract a supernatural force, to bring a presence that could change the course of your life. When you touch it, you're not just starting to pray, you're opening a door to something grand. But what is it that actually arrives when you touch it? Prepare yourself to discover the truth that will transform your view of this powerful prayer. Before starting your prayer, it's essential to spiritually prepare yourself. Sometimes, daily life drags us into a rushed routine, and prayer ends up being a mechanical moment, without proper devotion. If you want your prayer to truly be effective, it's crucial for your mind and heart to align with your spirituality. Begin with a moment of silence. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and allow your thoughts to settle. Let the peace of Christ fill your spirit. Preparation can also include meditating on the Scriptures. You don't need to get lost in long periods of study, but focused reading can shed new light on your prayer. For instance, reading a Bible passage about patience or faith helps prepare you to offer your prayers with greater depth, allowing the words to connect with the truth of the gospel. The simple act of meditating on the Scriptures can transform your devotional experience into something living and real. Another way to spiritually prepare is by stepping away from distractions. If possible, seek a quiet place where you can fully focus on your prayer. Sometimes, this means turning off your phone or stepping away from situations that may interrupt your communion with God. Prayer shouldn't be a hollow ritual but an act of worship and surrender. Every moment of preparation is an opportunity to strengthen your relationship with Christ, a daily exercise of faith. Now, imagine how this could affect the intensity of your prayers. The environment in which you pray can make all the difference in the quality of your spiritual experience. Imagine you're about to have a conversation with a close friend or someone important in your life. How would you prepare for that conversation? Similarly, by preparing your environment for prayer, you create a sacred and reverent space. This can be as simple as choosing a quiet spot, away from distractions, where you can feel God's presence in your life. After all, it's in this space that you connect with the divine. Adding symbolic elements can also strengthen that connection. A lit candle, for example, symbolizes the light of Christ, illuminating your heart and guiding your prayer. Religious images, such as a figure of Jesus or Mary, help maintain focus and contemplation. These details are not just decorations. They are constant reminders that you are in a sacred space. All of this contributes to creating an atmosphere that fosters introspection, inner peace, and openness to receive God's grace. However, the most important thing is your disposition of spirit. It does no good to be in a perfect environment if your mind is scattered. The key is the intention with which you enter that space. As you prepare the environment, be conscious that prayer is a unique moment of meeting with God. That's what makes prayer genuine. Remember, it doesn't matter where you are, but how you prepare for this communion. Your heart needs to be ready for prayer, regardless of the place. The Rosary is undoubtedly one of the most powerful spiritual weapons we have at our disposal. By holding the Rosary, you are literally holding a shield against the forces of evil. Each Hail Mary you recite is like a spiritual block, pushing away temptations and keeping your mind and heart in tune with the teachings of Jesus Christ. Just like a soldier prepares for battle, the Rosary prepares your soul to withstand life's adversities. It becomes a symbol of strength and divine protection. As you recite each prayer, remember that you are not alone in this fight. Every word of the Rosary is a reminder of Mary's presence, our intercessor, and God's power. For instance, when temptations arise or difficulties appear, you might feel the urge to give up or stray from the path. But the prayer of the Rosary keeps you firm, like an anchor that holds you steady in turbulent waters. In those moments, the Rosary transforms into a true spiritual shield, resisting the forces trying to pull you away from your faith. But the power of the Rosary goes beyond protection. It is also a means to strengthen your soul. When internal battles arise, doubts, fears, frustrations, the Rosary becomes a tool of resistance. It allows you to stay firm and faithful to your Christian walk, helping you overcome any trial. The Rosary is not just a prayer, it is a daily commitment of faith, resistance, and spiritual struggle. It teaches us that, through small prayers repeated with faith, we can face the greatest challenges with confidence and courage. Group prayer has a transformative power that we often underestimate. When you join others to pray the Rosary, You're not just participating in a religious practice. You're joining a spiritual chain that strengthens the whole community. Imagine the impact of thousands of people praying together, united by the same faith. It's like a prayer network that expands and covers every corner of the world, creating an immense spiritual force that brings peace and reconciliation. This is the power of the Rosary when prayed together. Furthermore, collective prayer fosters a sense of unity that transcends individual barriers. Each person who participates becomes part of something greater. For example, in a group of young Christians praying the Rosary, the connection between them deepens, creating a true communion in the Spirit of Christ. This unity strengthens the bonds of friendship, improves relationships, and often even resolves conflicts. The power of praying together is transformative, for when you pray, you are not alone. You are part of a great network of faith. This collective practice also has the power to unite hearts, helping to promote peace. The Rosary, when prayed in a group, becomes a powerful tool for reconciliation, bringing serenity to troubled hearts. Like a worship service or a sermon, collective prayer awakens faith and rekindles love in the hearts of participants. It strengthens the community, creates an environment of mutual support, and helps everyone grow spiritually. When we pray together, we truly feel the presence of God among us. The constant practice of the Rosary has a profound effect on inner transformation. As you recite your prayers, you're not just repeating words, you're shaping your soul. The Rosary helps cultivate essential virtues like patience, humility, and compassion. Imagine, for example, you've had a difficult day full of frustrations. When you turn to the Rosary, it offers a pause, a moment of reflection. Each prayer you speak is an opportunity to purify your heart, to let go of bitterness, and to renew your faith. Over time, the regular practice of the Rosary becomes a reflection of the transformation occurring within you. The Rosary, more than a simple prayer, is a workout for the soul. It teaches perseverance through difficulties, to be more patient, and to trust more fully in God. For example, when faced with a challenge, instead of panicking, you seek serenity through prayer. The Rosary helps you see problems with the eyes of faith, with the confidence that God is in control. As you continue this practice, you begin to realize that challenges are approached with a new perspective. It's not that the problems disappear, but your approach changes. The Rosary strengthens your spirituality and makes you more resilient. It transforms difficulties into opportunities for growth, helping you deal with them calmly and confidently. This transformation is not only external but a true renewal of the spirit that reflects in all aspects of your life. The Rosary has a rich history that traces back to monastic traditions when monks used beads to count their daily prayers. Originally, it was a simple tool designed to help the religious keep track of their prayers. Over time, the Rosary was adapted for use by lay people, expanding its presence within the Church. This development made the practice more accessible, allowing everyone, not just monks, to participate in such a deep and transformative practice. One of the most important figures in the history of the Rosary was Saint Dominic, who is credited with spreading the Rosary among the faithful in the 13th century. He and his Dominican order promoted the prayer of the Rosary as a way to combat the heresies of their time, encouraging people to pray in community. Later, Pope John Paul II also helped revitalize the Rosary practice, highlighting it as a powerful spiritual weapon. He made it even more widely known by encouraging the faithful to dedicate themselves to the Rosary throughout the month of October, reinforcing its impact on spiritual life. Today, the Rosary continues to be a vital practice for Christians around the world. It doesn't just resurface in times of crisis, but remains a steady daily devotional practice that transcends generations. The evolution of the Rosary shows how it has adapted over time, maintaining its relevance and transformative power. Whether in small groups or large celebrations, the Rosary remains a symbol of faith and dedication, keeping the tradition alive while continuing to touch hearts and strengthen the spiritual lives of Christians everywhere. The Rosary offers more than just spiritual benefits. It also promotes great psychological relief. When you dedicate yourself to prayer, you feel the tension of everyday life dissipate, as if the weight of your worries is gently lifted from your shoulders. This effect is particularly noticeable in moments of anxiety or stress. By focusing on the words of the Rosary and the images of the mysteries, you create a mental space of peace, where emotional stability begins to flourish. This is not just a fleeting feeling, but a peace that reflects in your daily actions and decisions. Furthermore, the regular practice of the Rosary has the power to shape your character. The act of praying every day and reflecting on the teachings of Jesus and Mary creates an internal change that shows in your interactions with others. For example, by praying with devotion, you become more compassionate, more patient, and more understanding of others' flaws. This effect is even more powerful in interpersonal relationships, where patience and understanding are essential for creating a harmonious environment. In this sense, the Rosary not only strengthens your relationship with God, but also improves the way you relate to those around you. This inner transformation also has a visible impact on how you face challenges. When you make the Rosary a constant practice, you begin to notice that, when difficulties arise, your ability to endure increases. Instead of getting lost in panic or doubt, you find yourself more balanced and focused. The peace that comes with the prayer of the Rosary reflects not only in the spiritual realm but also in the psychological, promoting a sense of well-being that goes beyond words. And this becomes a solid foundation for facing any adversity with serenity. The Rosary is a powerful tool for meditation, as it allows you to focus on the mysteries of the life of Christ and Mary, creating a pathway for deep reflection. Each Hail Mary is not just a repeated prayer but an opportunity to tune into a specific mystery. For example, when meditating on the Annunciation, you're not just saying words, you're visualizing the moment the angel appeared to Mary, offering her the invitation to be the mother of Jesus. This kind of visualization intensifies your spiritual connection and makes the prayer a living and transformative experience. Meditation during the Rosary also helps keep your mind focused on elevated themes. When you allow yourself to meditate on biblical events, the words become more than simple repetitions, they become a channel for deeper understanding of the Gospel. Reflecting on the birth of Jesus, for instance, you're not merely remembering a historical event, but absorbing the significance of that moment in your own life. Through this meditation, the Rosary becomes a way to internalize the teachings of Christ and Mary, bringing them into your daily life. The impact of meditation on the Rosary is transformative, as by focusing on the mysteries, you begin to live each one more fully. They stop being distant stories and become present realities, lived in your own heart. Each Our Father and each Hail Mary serves as a deeper step in the journey of faith, an opportunity to integrate Christ's teachings into your life. And this is reflected not only in your spirit but also in your daily actions. Meditating during the Rosary makes the prayer experience richer and more meaningful, as if each word spoken is a seed that grows inside of you. The continuous practice of the Rosary is more than just repeating prayers, it becomes a true school of life and faith. Each time you recite your prayers, you're not just asking for blessings but learning to live faith more deeply. The Rosary gradually shapes your spirituality, teaching perseverance, patience, and humility. Imagine that over months and years, you begin to notice how your life changes. Your challenges become easier to face, your faith stronger, and your relationship with God more intimate. This is what the daily practice of the Rosary offers, a true school for the soul. Additionally, the Rosary forms virtues that directly reflect in your daily attitudes. For example, by meditating on the mysteries of the Rosary, you not only learn about the life of Christ but also about how to apply His teachings. Each prayer becomes a practical lesson on how to live kindness, patience, and courage. When you face difficulties or temptations, you remember the virtues cultivated through the Rosary, which helps you make more just decisions and act with more compassion. In this sense, the Rosary not only teaches you to pray but also to live your faith in a concrete way. And it's not just you who is transformed, the Rosary also inspires others. By living based on the virtues it teaches, you become an example of hope and perseverance for those around you. Your daily practice of prayer shows that faith is not something distant, but a living and active force that can be lived and shared with others. In this way, the Rosary not only shapes your life but also helps spread the light of faith to others, making your life a testimony of God's action in the world.